I'm sort of debating whether more people in the audience want to also contribute to closing comments here, because I don't think it should just be one-sided of OVF doing that. I wanted to thank you for your comment there, because about sort of feeling frustrated, like you've heard so many different things, that it's hard to say, well, it comes into one answer of what you should be doing next. It's true. This is a dialogue that's ongoing. There are a lot of opinions that are they came out today, opinions that differ from each other. There isn't actually a totally clear path, but we're all working together to figure out what the right next thing to do is for each one of us in our process of wherever we are in helping these voters become enfranchised or be better enfranchised. So I thought that was a useful comment, although I feel terrible that you're leaving here so frustrated. We'll have to get you the first glass of wine. Yeah, that's not good. But they're really two. Okay. But it just brings to light to me the fact that there are no simple answers, and that's why we are gathered here to discuss it all. That's why we are in a process together. We're taking baby steps sometimes, and sometimes taking really magnificent steps, like some of the things the FEAP has done this year, magnificent steps forward. So, Chip, would you like to say a few words? And then if anybody else wants to make a comment, I'd be very interested in what you have to say.
Well, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for putting up with so many presentations. I know the information overload is a risk. I think, this morning I said we were here to learn from each other. We were here to build some bridges. We were here to have a dialogue that would help us to deal with these issues. And I guess from my perspective, I couldn't be happier with the results of that, from the standpoint of a chance to exchange ideas, chance to learn from one another, and a chance hopefully to continue dialogues that maybe you began today once you've left and gone back to your offices and your homes. So from that standpoint, I think we're really delighted with the way in which you all have helped make this, we believe, a useful seminar. Now, we will survey you after this for your inputs, and we really do appreciate your giving us information. One of the questions we're going to ask you is, next year, should we be doing this in Munich as we have for the last couple of years? Should we? I know there's already the people from Munich last year really wanted to do it in Munich, but if that continues to be the case, then I guess the next thing is for Susan and me to figure out when and where. And I volunteer to come to Munich from Madrid to help you go to venues if that is of any use. But in any event, the real question is going to be, when we do it, and hopefully with many of you back, or all of you back in Munich or wherever else we do it next year, and then to say, if anybody has any questions or closing comments from the floor, by all means, but remember, you're going to be keeping people from getting that second glass of wine that Ed needs.
No pressure.
Please.
Ed's comment reminded me that when I was young, and that was so long ago, and I would be thinking about something. Apparently, I don't smile when I'm thinking hard about something, and most of the rest of the time when I wasn't thinking hard about something, apparently I smiled a lot. So people would say to me, "What's wrong?" And I'd be like, "What do you mean, what's wrong? I'm fine." So, but you're not smiling, and it struck me that the absence of one thing doesn't necessarily mean another thing. I was intrigued by what you said, and I want to say, first of all, that I think this is one of the best organized conferences I've ever been to by OVF, so thank you very much. I think it was, yeah, absolutely, beautifully organized. I think it was beautifully hosted by Pew, so thank you very much, Pew. I think it was very, very well attended by a broad variety of stakeholders, and I'm really glad to have met many new people and seen a lot of faces I've seen before. I want to say I'm leaving encouraged and intrigued by the research that Claire presented, for example, and some of the findings so far, and also awed by the fantastic progress from FVAP. I think the cautions are what they are, and I think we still have a lot of common ground to work and move forward from. So thanks again to OVF.